number 2 in the Land of Dawn.
With a fast 2 setup coming in from both sides, they have decided to crowd in the middle lane as much as possible, in the bottom lane as much as possible, except that Jay, he clears out the middle wave instead, while Lucy Cutie clears out the middle wave. So Team Flash, they have a very different way that they will want to move, they will want to do things. They actually will put Longzi down the bottom lane to make sure that Adamir clears it fast. This way, they will be able to watch out for every single one of these river brushes, and this pretty much orientates Team Flash pretty effectively in the early stages. How do Novaria want to play around? How much information they will be able to get for the Novaria?
Yeah, but I can't emphasize how important it is that these teams hit level 4 as quickly as possible. I'm really worried about Luoyi's ultimate diversion because it really could change the way that Team Flash has to position themselves around team fights. And the cooldown for diversion, let's be honest, is pretty quick for an ultimate.
Perhaps we'll be able to see more of that in today's game, since we are talking about a very first Loi pick after all. I do absolutely love some mind-blowing divergence every now and then, and I think that it will make some confusion over at our caster's desk.
Yeah, that duality going to make a very huge impact in the team fights because they really are playing towards the strengths of RSG. Team Flash have to group up to make that maximum efficiency in team fights, and that's exactly what Aloy loves. With the dispersion as well, with rotation, it's instant stuns, instant relocations, instant displacement, and that's the strength of RSG's draft right here.
As we start things out, Hades, he definitely want to go for something with the turtle, especially since they have Team Flash. They do have a very strong lineup. But hold on a second, middle.
The penalty zone onto Bray here, pops the heavy spin, tries to zone them out, but Hades somehow still gets the retribution onto the turtle here. So RSG, they don't manage to secure that objective.
Beautiful game awareness there. Hades knew that he was going to be locked down by the heavy spin in the turtle pit, actually dashed out, so it didn't stop him from getting that retry off. So beautiful play by Hades there. And now the question is, how fast can he farm? Because if you take a look at the damage by Sailor, he's not going to have too much damage in this early game until he gets his first 2 or 3 core items, specifically depending on his build, right? Does he want to go for the scale in terms of the Clock of Destiny into the Lightning Truncheon, or does he want to go for more cooldown base with Enchanted Talisman so he can get the stuns in and displacement more often?
In the meantime, I do want to take some moment in time to really talk about how RSG may have a very scary draft, right? It really just boils down to how Sela was playing, how Sela is now playing as a Loi. We haven't seen a Loi in the longest time, but Team Flash, they play around grouping up, and perhaps we'll be able to see more of that right now as Bray immediately goes up on the Hades.
Yep, the heavy spin pins Hades to the wall here, manages to dash out, so he's okay for now. A bit of a brawl here in the mid lane. Now, talking about the dispersion, right, I think it's also pretty interesting that, you know, RSG decided to lock this in at the last, but it's like a vision battle. On the side of Flash, you do have that Astral Echo onto Jay as well, so I'm curious to see how they're gonna pull out these ultimates to fight against each other.
Well, they're going to give it a try here. Bray going in.
Brawl on the top side. They're trying to look for an opening. There you go, the stun, the damage from Sayla. Lawsy backs away, so some space earned here for RSG. You know, babysitting Oki a little to make sure he gets up, but the rest of Flash, they're coming in. Oh! First blood lands on to Lawsy here, and here's the Star Shatter. Doesn't close anything, but it's going to be 1 kill in favor of RSG.
Yep, and this is going to amplify Sayla's farm, which is a scary condition for Team Flash actually.
There's so much things going on for this game. RSG, they have different ways that they want to bring some dominance to the map. But in the meantime, the fight for the turtle commences.
Yep, circling Eagle pop penalty zone as well. Lucian Cutie flickers out. They forgo the turtle. Bray uses retreat to secure Hades all the way in the back line. They do disengage for now, having lost this objective.
Yep, they definitely knew what went wrong in the first turtle, so you can see instead of trying to lock him in the turtle pit, Bray actually pushed him away from the turtle pit, so Hades couldn't even go for that retreat itself. And right now, everything looks to be going in RSG's favor once again. But as we all know, right, as an RSG fan, this is what RSG does. They have that early game, and from there they snowball. So it's really up to Team Flash. Can they match this tempo? Can they get the steals back? Can they get the kills back as well?
For Oki, he will have a good time in the back in the later stages of the game, rather, as Adamir is probably one of the only few people that can actually jump over to the back lines and just deal with him. So he gonna have to build as tanky as he can. But RSG, they do have answers to this, right? They do have the Mathilda that will be able to literally yoink Oki into a safer spot, and thus putting Adamir in a very tough situation whereby he gotta fend for himself against everyone else in a sandwich position. While Team Flash, the rest of them is probably just gonna be stuck within a choke point because of Sayla as well. The passive that Sayla is capable of tossing out that creates a vacuum over to the members of Team Flash. That is going to be the main problem, right? Because the anchors in the front lines generally is going to be a Terizla, a Fredrin, as well as a Rafaela. How do they want to move in tandem? Will always be the question.
Yep, and it's all about buying time, right? Hades, you can see he's already struggling to go in a 1v3 here. He does not have the level advantage, so it's not looking good for Team Flash at this point of time. Dispersion.
Yep. Brawling in the mid lane, Hades in some trouble, tries to back out. Adamir comes through, Astral Echo popped as well. Hades goes down. Adamir will have to retreat. RSG still takes the cake on this one, and with that, they have the pressure to go onto the turtle for the third time here. They might secure their second turtle of the game. Vanix, in the meantime, gets top turret. They get Oki though. Vanix lands that shot. Lucian Cutie in trouble, uses the guiding wind to go circling Eagle to escape from the fight.
Yep, that was a nice holy baptism, securing the kill for Vanix. But of course, Bray, no problem for him. He's going to secure the turtle for the team. And once again, they have this very slight, but it's still a goal lead for RSG.
Tons of value being found by each and every individual members from Flash and RSG. We've got, of course, Bray that understood that he's gonna have to focus on the neutral objective, while Bruno is great at taking down standing objectives. Eventually, they gotta have to turn things around and they're gonna have to go for a swap. How else can they bring down more of these standard objectives is going to be in the minds of Team Flash all the time. While for the side of RSG, they're mostly trying to zone out at the enemies, trying to zone out Vanix to make sure that Oki continues to have a perfect game to farm around all the time. A lot of information needs to be gathered, and that is literally going to be Lucian Cutie's job.
Dispersion.
Bray coming in backline with the heavy spin, pushes Vanix to the turret. He is stunned out, tries to dash forward, gets Oki potentially. They trade out 1 for 2 at the moment. Sayla goes down as well. My goodness, what a flank coming in for RSG, but it didn't pan out in their favor.
The big brain plays. They thought they were coming up to collect the tax, but they got taxed instead, and RSG paid the price with 2 deaths here.
So unfortunately, Sayla and Oki has already gotten some clock onto their heads. With almost all of the outer turrets destroyed, TRSG now have to focus onto the middle lane outer turret. Otherwise, we can pretty much expect that Team Flash will be able to hold out the entire river line for themselves through and through again, making things even tougher for Oki to farm, even when right now it's already rather difficult.
Yeah, I really like how Adamir is playing this game at this point. His revenge strikes have been on point, and they've been landing on Bray all the time. And this makes Bray a little scared to come in because he doesn't want to overcommit. Right now, it's about Sailor's ultimate, right? Do they want to use that dispersion? Would they get caught out again? That's the big question.
No, it doesn't seem like Team Flash will want to commit into this. RSG did manage to finally take a single turret off of the hands of Team Flash, but that is not going to equalize any kind of scoreline nor economy factor. It will slowly contribute to a fight later on as to how they would want to put on more of this heavy lane in the southern side. It's kind of like a situation whereby the tower will eventually go down, but they would want to have a little bit more of that edge whereby they can put Vanix in a more uncomfortable spot trying to push it past the river line.
For sure, right? Eventually you're going to take all the structures, but right now the benefit of having the structures down is the ganks like this one onto Vanix as well as Malzy. Oki backs away. Diablo lands that killing blow onto Vanix, so they are 1 core member down on the side of Team Flash. All this time the Lord is being contested as well. Sayla getting that poke from Jay has to back off just a little bit, but bearing in mind Vanix is still down.
Yep, and Oki is free farming on the bot lane as well. Right now, like I said, RSG buying so much time for themselves, and Lucian Cutie doing so much work just being there.
Diablo in the backline, brawling it out with Adamir. They might just try to pull the plug here. just dancing around this Lord. Now, this is the first Lord of the game as well. Hades, the knockup, the heavy spin comes through onto him. Adamir goes in the backline with the penalty zone.
Oh.
Gets Oki. Praise's
Hades.
Wrath is landed down, but Hades goes down, and now Flash is chasing them. The RSG chasing them down, and Flash backing out. Diablo dives all the way for Lolzy and Vanix. The flicker, but Sailor lands that killing blow onto him, and it's gonna be Flash with 3 casualties in this fight.
I mean, how do you even fight into this? Because you have Ray, who's so tanky. This Kung Fu Panda, so much meat to go through. There's no way you can kill him. In the meantime, Sailor is hitting you with so many instances of the duality. Oki is free, hitting you on the sidelines as well. And if they need, Lucian QD offers them that escape path with the guiding wind as well. And this is even without talking about Diablo chasing the heck out of the rest of the members on the side of Team Flash.
I would absolutely love to see a little bit of a steal from the side of Hades, but remember, this time Hades is not playing anyone that is very mobile, so not much of a Grand Theft Lord that we can see in this game. So he's gonna be the one that will hold on to the Lord by himself. He's gonna have to literally get in the face of the Lord and just kind of kiss it as much as possible. But that fight did not go so well for him, as RSG literally went all in onto Hades, and I don't think that Team Flash was ready for that.
Yeah, they need more time on Vanix though. He needs to have more damage before they can really fight into the ranks of RSG. So as of now, I think they will give up this attack and offense on the top lane, but they have waves crashing in. And once again, Oki has so much time across the map to get farm, and I believe at this point, probably about 10k more before they hit the late game full itemization, and Oki will be the first person to complete his items within the RSG ranks.
I think there's still a lot of time to go to watch this game. We're only 12 minutes and 20 seconds into this game, and RSG with a 5,000 gold lead. And knowing RSG, they will definitely play according to their lead, and they're a team that will show that, hey, we are in the lead. We will push out a little bit more if it is absolutely required to, because they do have the discipline. Whenever it's possible, they will take over all of the jungles and they will suffocate Team Flash as much as possible. Why keep themselves at 5,600 gold lead when they can bring it all the way up to 10,000 gold lead, for example?
Yeah, but there's also a sliver of chance, right? So one of the things that you notice about RSG is that as the game goes super late game, sometimes they falter a little bit. And Team Flash has shown in the regular season that they can capitalize off of that.
Stuns come through onto Hades here. The damage as well. Astral Echo is popped. They're finding a big in the jungle, taking the buffs away, like you said, away from Team Flash so that they don't have the resources to come back and farm as much as they want. Team Flash has to slowly crawl back some space for themselves. But you know that RSG just camping, waiting for them to do that.
I mean, we're laughing about this on backstage, right? There's a lot of thievery in the games itself. We have seen Lord steals, we have seen buff steals. So, you know, you have to realize that, yes, low crime doesn't mean no crime, and I'm still waiting for Hades to come through with a sneaky retry steal if that situation ever presents itself.
But I think it's difficult for him, right? Especially on this Frederick now. And you have Bray with the heavy spin. You have, Diablo diving in your backline as well, and not to mention Sailor with the burst damage, right? So a lot of factors. But that being said, Jay could potentially also pull off a steal here. It might not be from Hades. I think earlier on in the game, he stole a couple of resources like a Little Wanderer from them as well. So he might just do the same thing on the Lord.
Well, looking to shatter their hearts with the Star Shatter here on this Novaria. So we know Jay can do it. The question is, will he be allowed to? Because RSG, you know how dominant they are, especially when they have a nice gold lead, and 5,600 gold is a pretty comfortable gold lead at this point.
Now, for the side of RSG, they want information. And they know, as a matter of fact, that if RSG's members don't appear, don't show themselves that often, they're gonna, Team Flash gonna have to be worried. They're gonna have to split themselves up a little bit, as now Team Flash is bringing the lot down to a critical amount of health.
But the dispersion comes through. They might try to come from the backline. Lolzy finds Sailor though, and it's Vanix. It's Hades that goes down in the meantime. They're trying to fight, sandwich them in between here, but Flash spots that out. They only lose Hades in the fight so far.
And RSG are just better at this stage. You know, the mind of Youngin and the execution of all of the different RSG players. I don't see how Team Flash can come back yet, but I hope they can figure something out too.
I would say that it will be relatively tough, especially since Team Flash, they don't have
Diablo.
an answer at all to how they can end this.
They're going for round 2. They did it again, and this time it worked. Vanix goes down, Lolzy goes down, and now RSG, they're chasing down, trying to look for Adam in the bush. Penalty zone just to delay his demise here. One more shot at it, and Sayla takes the final killing blow. Bray also secures the Lord together with that. I mean, try it once, doesn't work, do it again. Sayla with that dispersion.
And that's the strength of Loi, right? And you can see how painful the duality is. At this point, if we take a look at Sayla's items later on, you'll see that he is pretty much stacked up. This lady has muscles like a mountain.
It's a very strange image you're painting there.
Yeah, no, because she's not supposed to look like that, right? She's supposed to be like soft, but then when she slaps you, bro, it feels like she's hitting you with concrete trucks.
I think at the point in time, you just feel like you got slapped into another dimension.
Bray, they isolate Hades here, pinned to the wall. There's nothing he can do. And it's going to be one down on the side of Flash here. The Lord comes through on the top side. They're going to crash through the base turret. So 2 left standing on the side of Team Flash. RSG, might they be able to take another? They do have the creeps coming in. The stuns from the duality, getting Adamir, chipping him off a bit of his HP there, and they're slowly also taking that turret. So one more almost in their bag here. Following the creeps to the bomb site, they get the base turret on the bottom. Flash has to put up one big defense.
I gotta say, RSG, they are very greedy. They really wanted to take down every single one of these inhibitor turrets that Team Flash has. And I gotta say, it's warranted, right? Team Flash has been cycled through and through by the hands of RSG, and RSG really knew what they wanted to do. They don't want to go for all-out battles. They do not want to go for all-out team fight, right? They just want to lock one person down, bring this one person down, and discourage the enemies from even getting close, or rather give them any ideas that, hey, we can fight this fair and square.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on Team Flash, you must be scratching your head at this point, right? How do you figure out what to do? Because there's so many angles that RSG can approach you from. And it's not as though there is a weak point on the side of RSG. There's really no point of entry for Team Flash. Who do you go on? Because everyone will come and, you know, just jump on you at the same time.
There is still quite some time left until the next Lord will appear. And RSG, knowing them, they would want to cycle Team Flash once again. Team Flash, though, they are more of a poke kind of composition. They have a lot of pokes, let's be honest, with the star shadows and such, but we'll take a moment in time and just really look at itemizations. Now, Kin, is there anything that we're missing out here?
Necklace of Durant and the glowing wand on this Loi is going to cause a lot of problems for them. And if you take a look at the tank ability, they have Twilight Armor built onto Bray. Wait, they're going to catch
Not
Hades
again.
Duality gets Hades knocked up. Damage is enough. He gets put down. RSG flicker in by Diablo onto the backline in the penalty zone from Adamir. Tries to prevent the onslaught, but is it enough? Adamir pays for his life. And RSG, they have the entry into the base now. They're trying to march in, but don't have the creeps just yet. 2 waves coming down, top and bottom. A little patience as they wait for the little guys to come in, and it's gonna be the damage onto Lolzy. One more knocked up. RSG on the base, taking game number 2 for themselves.
What a day today. It really is a day of upsets, at least for me and Abstract.